Good morning. Welcome to the WEX Wakeup for Friday, January 19th. I'm Christy Matino. Former President Donald Trump is not happy with New Hampshire's opening primary system. He claims that Democrats will show up to vote for former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley.
The problem is the Democrats want her to run desperately, so they have a lot of Democrats signing up in New Hampshire, but I don't think it's going to matter. And I think we're going to be in very good shape like we were. And if you look at Iowa, nobody knew we were going to blow it out like that.
Trump's biggest rival in the state is Haley, whose polling numbers show her just behind and neck with Trump regarding voter support. Now, a survey from American Research Group released on Tuesday found Trump and Haley were tied with 40% support each from the state's likely Republican primary voters. And former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley is asking moderates, centrists, and independent voters to return to the Republican Party.
What I'm doing is telling people what I'm for. If independents and conservative and moderate Republicans like that, I love that. If conservative Democrats are saying, I want to come back home to the Republican Party because they left it, I want them back.
Independent voters make up the largest share of voters in New Hampshire at roughly 40% of the electorate. And with President Joe Biden not appearing in the Democratic primary ballot due to a disagreement between New Hampshire law and the DNC over the primary schedule, Democrats could cross over to vote for Haley during the primary. Although she says it's unlikely progressive Democrats will vote for her.
We're not trying to target progressives. They're never going to be for me. I know that we have differences, but what I will do is I want the younger voter. I want those moderates. I want those independents. I want them to come back home to the Republican Party.
And the Senate voted to extend government funding into March on Thursday as lawmakers prepared to leave town due to yet another D.C. snowstorm.
On this vote, the yeas are 314, the nays are 108. 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, and the Senate amendment is agreed to. And without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
The continuing resolution, which passed 77-18, is the third short-term extension the Senate has approved since September. The funding measure now heads to the House of Representatives, but without a stopgap bill, the federal government would partially shut down since funding runs out on Friday for a number of agencies. Schumer asked his colleagues in the lower chamber to cooperate during a speech on the Senate floor ahead of the vote on Thursday.
What the Senate cannot do right now is mimic the chaos in the House, where a vocal minority of hard-right rabble-rousers want to bully their way into making a shutdown happen. Amazingly, the hard-right thinks preventing a shutdown is somehow, quote, a surrender.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning on the WEX Wake Up. Be sure to give us a follow on social media so you stay in the know of all those headlines turning in politics.